folks, Ray from DCRainmaker.com here. Today I've got Huawei's new Watch 2. This was announced here at MWC, and what's interesting about it is not just the optical sensor on the back, or the fact that it has NFC for contactless payments, or the fact that it has GPS, or the fact that it has 4G LTE, but that it's actually got some legit running metrics in it. So the company partnered with Firstbeat, which is the same company that Garmin partners with for all of their watches. You'll see Firstbeat metrics, for example, in the Fenix 5. And a lot of those exact same metrics are actually offered here on this watch. Before we dive into that, let's just talk some of the basics. So first off, this is an Android Wear watch. This means I can go ahead and get into the dashboard there and go through my apps. For example, you can see here a couple different apps, music, Play Store, stopwatch. They don't have anything like Strava on here at the moment, but you can certainly load that yourself if you wanted to. But they do have the running app, so let's go ahead and dive into that running app. Let's find that right there, workout, there we go. Now, the workout app is already started right now. It's been running for an hour and 20 minutes, as you can see there. I can swipe left and right and go in to get some additional data pages. It would actually show me a map of exactly where I was if I was outside. Unfortunately, I'm inside, so I'm really not going to get that map here inside the convention center. But if I flip it over, you can see the optical heart rate sensor on the back there. Now, I have seen that it isn't quite finding my heart rates inside, or when I put my finger on it, which most optical heart rate sensor watches do that. I put my finger on there for about a minute or so and nothing happened. It could just be disabled in this particular unit, which isn't super unnormal for a convention center setting. So you can see right here, this is back in the main home screen. If I go ahead and tap this bottom button right there, it launches basically the activity tracker for the day, so you can see my steps, minutes, and then the time standing. I can swipe to the right and see my additional health metrics. And this is where you get some of the information from Firstbeat. So your VO2 max are coming from Firstbeat there. And then I would also get, for example, stats like recovery time if I did a workout, as well as the training effect too. So that's the exact same training effect that you would see on a Garmin watch, like a TE value of 4.2, 4.3, etc. for a given workout. So it's really unusual and cool to see that coming to an Android Wear watch by itself. For the most part, we've seen Android Wear watches kind of dip their toe into the sports and fitness realm, but never really dive all the way into it. So this is sort of the first attempt at that I think we're seeing. Polar certainly has their watch, and they have their own app as well on the unit. We have New Balance at their watch, but none of them are really going the distance to saying, hey, we want to truly compete with Garmin from an advanced metric standpoint. And then a lot of people have asked how thick this watch is. So what I've got here is the Watch 2 next to the Fenix 5. So this is the Fenix 5, the middle edition, so it's not the Fenix 5S, which is smaller, or the Fenix 5X, which is larger. This is basically the middle-of-the-road one. And you can see here they're virtually identical in size of the bezel itself. And if I go ahead and turn them on its side here, you'll see that from a thickness standpoint, again, virtually identical in thickness. So they're almost, as far as I can tell, they're basically the same. This obviously has only 2 buttons, whereas here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that kind of goes back to a little some of the Android Wear basics that you use in this touchscreen a lot. This has no touchscreen. This screen's more vibrant. With that vibrancy, though, you do get a much, much shorter battery life, only a few days. However, the Watch 2 does have the ability to go into a low power mode that just shows you steps in time, and for that, it can go up to a month roughly, which is pretty impressive. Kind of on par with what you'd see with the Fenix in sort of a basic time mode. But of course, neither of these watches are designed, if you're using it for outdoors purposes anyways, to be basic time. You want to turn your GPS on, you want to use it, and that's where a dedicated wearable or dedicated fitness wearable is going to last a little bit longer. On the flip side, you have obviously the app ecosystem here of Android Wear. So with that, that's a quick look at the Huawei Watch 2. Keep in mind, it's supposed to start shipping in Europe in the March timeframe and to the Americas in the April timeframe. I believe the price in euros is $349. So we've got a lot of functionality there. One last thing to note, as it's coming in right now, you can see that that was a fake call, but you can see that incoming call notification. And that is because this does have LTE. It does have a microphone on it. With the LTE, you've got the cellular connectivity. You also have the on-wrist payments, so NFC payments, just like an Apple Watch would. Again, kind of an area that Garmin and other fitness manufacturers have been somewhat mistakenly ignoring, I think. I think you're going to see that come down the road, but right now they don't have any sort of contactless payments, which is definitely a bummer. Anyways, thanks for watching. Go ahead and whack that like button down below, as well as the subscribe button for plenty more sports technology news and reviews. Have a good one.